All right, welcome to the relationship show. This woman who's 25 writes this post. Her boyfriend's 28. She says, I said some toxic things to my boyfriend who's 28, and I'm afraid of becoming a toxic person because of things that had been said to me in the past. Okay, so people who struggle to let things like that go, I know it's not easy, and then like negative things can really stick in your mind, especially if you're not consciously working to really release them. But oftentimes what you'll see, so she's referring to like, oh, these things happened to her, these painful things, and now she's going to repeat that. And it is true that often, like, people who were abused often become abusers. But the reason for that is, from my perspective, is that when people live in that place of fear, and it's not about fear from the situation even, it's about fear that they will do that to somebody else. It's almost like they have that capability and they're afraid of not hurting someone, and so therefore they hurt somebody. And so this woman, she's saying it's because of things that have said to me in the past, but she's afraid of becoming a toxic person. So it's often like, well, what we fear, we often attract. It's like directing our focus, no matter if it's directing it to a fearful place or being afraid that we're going to hurt somebody, that all gets linked to that action. And so whether it's fear or happiness or whatever association you're linking to any given thing, it's like your focus goes towards that. And like the race car analogy, just taken from Tony Robbins, it's like he was in a race car. Basically, he's going fast and he wanted to look at a wall. Another one is a better probably example is like you'll see like light posts in like a barren, like straight road, and then all of a sudden somebody somehow hit the light post. Why'd they do that? Because they were focused on it. It's like they started to fear hitting that light post, so they started looking at it. And once they looked at it, they started to turn the car, and the car went right to the light post, even though there was basically nothing even in the close proximity. Same concept with your focus, same concept with fearing that you're going to become a toxic person like this woman. It's like you have to let these things go. How do you do that? Well, sometimes you have to be strong enough to own that that happened to me and almost accept it. And sometimes that comes from seeing the other person's perspective, no matter how sick or whatever it is that happened to you. You have to understand that they were trying to meet their needs, or they were trying to do something. We take action as people because we want something. So, that person was trying to get something, whether it be love or respect or whatever it was. Maybe they didn't get a lot of love and now they're taking out on somebody else and they're just running this cycle. But if you can look deep into that person and really look deep into their psyche, you'll really come down to, well, their pains are really derived from a sense of loss, and that they really just want to be loved, And it's like, I talk about this as far as like men and women, men more needing like respect and women more needing like love. But what I kind of think is really just respect is men's really interpretation of love, kind of. So, test that for yourself if you think that's true. But it just seems to be a high probability, or at least we're just kind of labeling something as love and labeling something as respect, but really they're just forms of the same thing. Yeah, I'll leave it at that because that really kind of covers really the main point of what she's kind of talking about and what she's really fearing in this situation.